Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to share the incredible story of Daniel from the Bible. Daniel's life is a testament to faith, courage, and divine wisdom. Let's begin. Daniel was a young man living in Jerusalem when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon besieged the city. Daniel, along with other young men from noble families, was taken to Babylon. The king wanted these young men to be trained to serve in his palace. In Babylon, Daniel and his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, were given new names: Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were to be taught the language and literature of the Babylonians and were provided with rich food and wine from the king's table. But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and asked for permission to eat only vegetables and drink water. God granted Daniel and his friends favor with the chief official, who allowed them to follow their diet for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. God gave these 4 young men knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning, and Daniel could understand visions and dreams of all kinds. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a disturbing dream. He called all his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers to interpret the dream, but none could. In his anger, he ordered all the wise men of Babylon to be executed. When Daniel heard about this, he asked the king for time to interpret the dream. Daniel and his friends prayed to God for mercy, and God revealed the mystery of the dream to Daniel. Daniel explained to the king that his dream was of a large statue, with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet, partly of iron and partly of clay. This statue was smashed by a rock that became a huge mountain, symbolizing the kingdoms of the world and the eternal kingdom of God that will crush all others. King Nebuchadnezzar was amazed and placed Daniel in a high position, making him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and placing him in charge of all its wise men. Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, faced their own trial of faith. King Nebuchadnezzar set up a golden image and commanded everyone to worship it. Whoever refused would be thrown into a blazing furnace. The 3 friends refused to bow down to the image, declaring that their God could save them, and even if he did not, they would not serve the king's gods or worship the image. Furious, Nebuchadnezzar ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual and had the 3 men thrown into it. But God protected them, and they were unharmed. Nebuchadnezzar saw a 4th figure in the fire, who looked like a son of the gods. He called them out of the furnace, and they were not burned or even smelled of fire. The king praised their God and promoted them to higher positions in the province of Babylon. Years later, during the reign of King Belshazzar, a great feast was held using the gold and silver goblets taken from the temple in Jerusalem. During the feast, a mysterious hand appeared and wrote on the wall. The king was terrified and called for Daniel to interpret the writing. Daniel explained that the message meant God had numbered the days of Belshazzar's reign, weighed him and found him wanting, and his kingdom would be divided and given to the Medes and Persians. That very night, Belshazzar was killed, and Darius the Mede took over the kingdom. Under the new rule of Darius, Daniel continued to serve with exceptional skill, which made the other officials jealous. They tricked King Darius into signing a decree that for 30 days, no one could pray to any god or man except the king. Anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel continued to pray to God 3 times a day, just as he always had. The officials caught him and reported it to the king. Though Darius was distressed, he was bound by his own law and ordered Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." That night, the king could not sleep and rushed to the den at dawn. He called out to Daniel, and Daniel answered, "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions." Daniel was unharmed because he trusted in God. The king was overjoyed and ordered Daniel to be lifted out of the den. Those who had accused Daniel were thrown into the den, and the lions devoured them. Daniel also had many visions about the future. One vision was of 4 great beasts representing 4 kingdoms. Another was of a ram and a goat, symbolizing the Medo-Persian and Greek empires. Daniel saw a vision of 70 weeks, which predicted significant events in the future. These visions assured the people of God's sovereignty and his ultimate plan for redemption. Daniel's life is a powerful example of unwavering faith and divine wisdom. Despite living in a foreign land and facing many trials, Daniel remained faithful to God. His story encourages us to trust in God, no matter the circumstances. Thank you for watching the story of Daniel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Bible stories. See you next time.